What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making a spaceship using Blender, and we're going to be importing it into Roblox Studios to create a full product which hopefully will look very nice. So let's get into it. Alright, so pretty much we first start off with a normal cube. I didn't want to make it too difficult on myself, so what I did is I deleted the left side of the cube and I just had I created a new face and then I just mirrored it on so I can more easily as you can see, I did not select everything, which you always want to select everything, so press Alt Z, guys. And then I had a couple of edges not snapped correctly here, so it didn't look right. It looked kind of weird, so I had to create a new face by selecting new points and then pressing F to create new ones. And then as you can see here, some of the segments, I lost some segments by deleting the points. So to add back the segments, you just press R, which adds new segments. I was going to do it for the back here, but I don't know why. It kind of like glitched out even more in the back. So I decided that instead of doing that, I would just create or just leave it as like how it looks already, because it didn't really affect the building process as much as the front would. Because the front kind of need to have pretty straight on forward and flat, because you know that's the front of the ship. It has to look perfect and straight. I do fix up the back just a little bit, but I think I don't know why I reverted it. It actually looked good. Maybe it wasn't working right. I don't really know. Here I try to make some weird wings that just didn't look right. I don't know what I was going for, but like this kind of looks like the what's his name, Gorlock, the Destroyer's ears. Like, what am I making? And it looks like a mixture of Gorlock and what's the green over it? Come on, you guys know what I'm talking about. Shrek. There you go. I don't know why I forgot what Shrek's name was, but yeah, kind of looks like Shrek's face. So I definitely changed the wings later on because I don't want it to look like Shrek's face. But here I make the front of the plane, or sorry, starship. So I pretty much just make some headlights. I don't know why I put headlights. Just thought it would look cool. Yeah, I definitely delete the wings here and start again, because yeah, that was not going right. Make them kind of chunky at the start and then widen them and make them small so it has like some of the curvature. Make them a little, a little small. We don't want them to be humongous. Then here we add some curvature to the wings. Bring them out, bottom tip. So it looks more like a flying vehicle, not some random cube that's just thrown. And then here I add some thrusters in the back. Here it would have been helpful to actually change the back, so it's not very, what's it called, bad segmented. That's because I still left the middle part out. And then here, this is again why I need to add more segments or clean up my segments, which I still don't know how to do. I definitely need to learn, because the segment parts definitely help when they're easier to manage. When all of them are just one point instead of multiple, because then I have to go into this X-ray vision to be able to select all the points needed to curve around the build that I need, because then it would just look weird only curving one line at a time, and it also wouldn't match with the other segment points that are already connected to that point. So here, just fix up the bottom, create a new face, because again, I need to somehow create new faces because my faces that I already had were not working right. But after creating the faces, it did look right, so that's good. And then I realized that, oh, that's why the faces weren't looking right. I had some vertices that weren't connected correctly inside the actual like cube or spaceship, I guess, at this point. So here I tuck in the outside edges of my spaceship, and I add a couple new faces to not have as many gaps underneath. As you can see, I have a little bit of texture meshing on the bottom. That's just because mirroring both sides of the vehicle does sometimes create those texture meshes if I do not scale them correctly, which I did not, because I did not know how to do. Here I make some rocket thrusters, which I think I just leave for a while because I was confused on why the line segments weren't working and crossing over correctly, which I then realized, oh, it's because they're not connected. As you can see, I think I even dissolve the thing? I believe I do. I don't know for sure if I should dissolve. Oh no, I don't. I definitely do not dissolve the line segment right there. I think I just skip over it because I just was too fed up with actually trying to deal with it. So instead of fixing the problem, I just went around the problem. It's definitely not something you want to do. Which I've somehow figured out how to delete it. Oops, I clicked something wrong right there. But I somehow fixed it right, so that's good. Here I use extrude and intrude to create these cool thrusters. They're kind of small though, so I had to like make them bigger, or sorry, change the shape of them. Cause I didn't really like it. It didn't look big enough. You know, I can't have small little thrusters. That wouldn't look right. And then I intruded it there, made the engines huge, which looks way better. And I make a bigger, larger thruster on the bottom, cause you know you have 2 mini thrusters and then 2 your big honcho thrusters. You know, the ones that really get you going. And then I set them up kind of big here. Again, I need to fix my vertices because I'd be having some that never make sense. I think I deleted it right, but can never be sure. I think I did. Does look like I did do it correctly. So I think what I do is I just connect the joints together in faces. Again, by just pressing Control J. I somehow have a random segment on the left, but at least it doesn't affect the actual build process, so I just left it. Then I add the last engine thruster on the end. And this is like the basic shape I was going with for the spaceship. So after that, now we start texturing. So I look for some textures. I just, you know, use a black steel again. I love black steel. I don't know why. It just works well with everything. And I found this neon glass to be a cool head frame. Not head frame, sorry. A good head sheet. Or, sorry, no, not head sheet. What am I talking about? I mean a glass frame for the windows. And I add those neon blue lights for the headlights. And some other like accessory designs. Here I use paint as normal. Just scale up the canvas size and make the paint extremely large. And then I just add the rest of the colors in. I don't know why that was so crooked there. Definitely need to fix my shapes. Save it as a PNG. Save it as spaceship textures. And I import it in. Oh, before I do that though, I definitely play around with the merging settings again just to make sure it's completely right. Set it at 1 meter apart to merge, which is, I guess, what is usually the best. I don't know why. I don't really get the settings as much. But then you press Control A in object mode to apply it. After this, my ship is fully built. As you can see, it's fully highlightable. Smooth shading does definitely not look right on this. If you had more, rivets and edges, it probably would. But with my object, I just did not have enough details to make it actually look anywhere near good. But yeah, I think I actually did pretty good on my spaceship, guys. Coloring wise, I definitely don't think I did good at all. As you can see, it's definitely a makeshift rocket. As you can see, as soon as I finish highlighting this right here, I go back into layout mode to see how it looks. Definitely does not look good. As you can see right here, it looks like an ice cube. So yeah, definitely did not like that. So what I did is I made sure the whole hull of the ship was actually dark and black. You know, so like I had a basic reference, but it still did not look right with the wings being kind of weirdly shaped, and not, you know, dark and black because it's supposed to be like a midnight space fighter. So here I just add some lights on the side, and then I highlight the back thrusters to make them glow. Because instead of going with like strong high beam lights in the front, I went with the thruster lights because it made a little bit more sense in my head than just having like random beams of lights in the front. It'd make more sense in the back. Here I did notice a flaw in my first creation, which was I actually had some segment points hanging out and just sticking out on the outside behind the mesh, so it would just like stick out, which looked kind of weird. So I had to make it smaller, which luckily I do here because you see it was sticking out and that would just look kind of random. So I at least get that, you know, fixed up. Move the faces, get the thrusters actually looking blue. This is actually really fun, by the way, guys. You guys definitely should make a spaceship if you guys have the time. It's just a very easy build that like doesn't take as a lot of time, as much time as other builds, and it's very easy to get something that looks, you know, relatively good. Mine definitely does not look relatively good, but you can definitely make something look relatively good pretty easily. especially with spaceship builds, because it's like mainly black and it's supposed to be like futuristic shapes. Here I went, well, I messed around with the windows, but as you can tell, this is why you're not supposed to mess around too much with figures, because my figures have way too many dots, which is bad. I tried to upscale that small particle right there, but it just didn't work. So I move it as glass. That actually looks pretty good for now. And I check all the way around, and then I notice the whole bottom part of my ship is neon green. I don't even know. So I have to move it back black to make it look not as neon green. Here I couldn't even highlight some of the parts because they were clipped inside of my mesh. So I actually had to highlight everything here using, what's it called? Control Z to see through as an X-ray. Once I did that though, everything did slowly come together, which is good. Then I made sure the top looked good, and yep, everything looked good here. So what I do here is I actually do try to scale the texturing a little better, because I noticed on the top the edges looked a little like rougher, or sorry, smooth, and the textures weren't coming in as nicely as the corners and the wings. And then here I try to make a headlight. They're supposed to be blasters, but I decided to just make them headlights because that's not how a blaster looks. And I mean, it doesn't look bad, but it's kind of just small details, so I try to add a little bit more detail here by scaling up the size, which looks a lot better. At least it looks like a flower light, which is a lot better than just having a weirdly shaped blaster, which I had before. Here I could not see like why this little triangle here was being connected. I realized in the end it was just like a flaw in the actual making of the UV mapping, so it actually didn't really affect the actual art at all. As you can see, if you go back to layout, it does not affect it at all, so that's good. Here I pretty much feel like I'm done with the ship at this point. I add a little bit more glare on the glass fronts, so it looks a little different, has a little bit more separation on the sides. But other than that, pretty much just imported it into Roblox Studios because I was pretty much done with making the actual ship. Check out my other videos for more cool designs, as you can see in a bit when I open up my actual test server. As you can see here, I have I think around 10 other worlds. Here I actually wasn't planning on making it any accessory, but I try it a little later on. But it's actually pretty cool that the size does look about right for any of my Roblox characters here. Kind of does look like a little mini ship, like a little mini speeder, kind of from Star Wars. Not really, but kind of. Here I make a duplicate because I was going to try to make the actual ship an accessory, but I realized later on that to do that I would actually have to customize the actual size using Blender and not Roblox Studios because it did not correlate correctly with using accessories. As you can see, I moved it into place. I thought it would be that small, but then I make an accessory, and as you can tell, I did not get what I wanted. Just a huge ass ship. So I was like, nope, scratch that idea. And it looks really cool there, so I just kind of keep it there. But overall, yeah, I was not going to make it a little accessory. Thank you guys for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe, and comment what you guys would like to see next. Peace out.